So check it out. A question has been asked for quite a while: is there a way to put directional lighting in a Marx switcher, or maybe even a Marx steam engine, or putting a light in the tender? And I'm here to show you today that yes, there is. So check this out. So I watched a video where a guy was using an older Lionel switcher, and he was showing you how to hook up directional lighting to it. And he used these 12 to 18 volt LEDs. They're 3mm. You get them from Amazon, and he put a link to purchasing them, and I'll do that too. And they're only like, I don't know, $8, $9 for 20 of them. And so what I had to figure out, because the Marx motor looks a lot different than a Lionel one, was exactly where to hook the wiring. So I used the old headlight housing as an electrical lug, because that gets power from the center rail. And then I determined that hooking the red ends to either side of the field coil, and I figured out that that's how you would get the directional lighting with these. So for this one, I just took a buffing polishing wheel and polished the thin insulation off the wire where it comes off the E unit here on the front of the coil, and that makes the backlight work. And then the opposite, I did the same thing to the wire that comes off on the other side and polished it, and that makes the front light work. So it's actually quite easy to do, and I just use a polishing wheel with my Dremel tool and just gently polished on both sides and soldered them permanently. For the lights themselves, those 3mm lights will fit right inside the lens of the S2, and they'll also fit in the E7. It's the same lens. And then I use fun tack to hold them in place. I don't like to glue them in, because in case the diode goes bad, then you don't have to ruin the little light housing too. So the fun tack holds them right in there nicely. Now we'll look at the front headlight. That goes out in reverse, comes on and forward. One thing I failed to mention too was, if you're happy with the Marx headlight, you could just leave the light bulb in there and only hook up the rear light to come on in reverse. But I wanted to have LEDs in both, since I got 20 of them, so why not? Okay, so a couple years ago I built a Marx switcher out of a 1666. I shortened it up, I put a coupler on it, and I thought that would be a good guinea pig to put a reverse light in the tender. So as I explained before, I put a quick disconnect in the circuit, and it's right here, and I also wired the red wire to the back of the field coil. That wire, I remember I told you have to just kind of polish off the thin red coating there. So I soldered that to the back, and I also soldered the other wire to the strip here off the reverse unit. And then of course there's the quick disconnect, and there's the 3mm LED, that'll go in the tender. So I'll put it in the tender shell, and we'll see how it works. Using the quick disconnect allows you to unhook the tender from the locomotive. Okay, so here's the tender. I used an E7 lens, and of course the 3mm fits right in the back of it. This one has, it's been redone to have a sound of power unit in it, so things are going to be a little cramped in there. And also where the quick disconnect wire comes out through, I made a little groove right there, just so that when I put the shell on, it doesn't pinch the wires. So we'll put the chassis back on this thing, and we'll see how it works. Okay, so we've got the shell back on the chassis, and we got the quick disconnect wire out. So now we're going to hook it up, and we'll see if it works. You also have the quick disconnect, the female end on the steamer itself. Okay, so now we'll give it a test run. Here we go. Now I have a switcher that has a reverse light. It chugs. That's pretty cool. All right. So thanks again for watching. God bless, and never forget Jesus is Lord. This is an easy project. Anyone can do it. You can buy those quick disconnects right off eBay and get the lights from Amazon, and away you go. So take care.